Disappointment is the middle name for crumble cookies, man. Jesus. Fuck. Welcome back to the pod. Um, I'm the crumble guy, or Gordon, if you know me as that. If you don't know me, I am the crumble guy. Today, today is Monday, right? February 27th. So,
Yep, yep.
oh, before I get into it, I have my buddy Ethan on the pod with me today. Ethan has a podcast that I'm also a part of as well called Bro Sports Talk, where they break down any analogy of sports you can think of, whether it's fashion, pop culture, what's happening on or off the court. They are very up to date with anything that goes on in sports. So I'll leave a link to their podcast and social media platforms in this description. But today we're not here to talk about sports. You know why we're here. Tell me about what's going on, Ethan.
Hey man, other than getting pissed on for about 10 minutes earlier, man, my day's been pretty good. Had to make up a midterm. Other than that, I just been chilling, getting over this COVID. You know, I don't know if you've had it, but it still sucks. I'm getting over it now though. Hopefully, I can make a full recovery and get back to it. But that's just me today, and it's kind of what's been going on the past week. But yeah, how have you been, man?
I'm alive. I've had COVID before. It's not the best. I am hoping that you're doing a little bit better. You sound a little bit better than a few days ago, so that's a little bit of progress. I heard you. Yeah, I know you said your fever broke a little bit
Yeah.
ago too, so that's a good step in the right direction. Um, like I said, I've been on vacation the past week. Just got back to the regular scheduled programming of getting back to work. Portland was fun. I went the last time for my birthday weekend. So that was pretty cool to kind of just get back to it and do some things that we didn't get to do the last time. And one of those things was eating a ton. Now, I ate a ton last time, but it wasn't to that extent. And I tell you, breakfast, lunch, and dinner was all out. And dessert. Sorry. Dessert was all outside food. hmm Kombucha is a good friend of mine for the next couple of weeks. But I'll tell you what, Sunday at approximately about 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Crumble dropped their new flavors. Now, me and Ethan are here to react to them, but I'm here to review them. So, Ethan, what flavor are you most excited about? You want to list them off and then just tell us what you're most excited about?
However you want to do it, it's fine with me. I'm looking at all of them right now.
Yeah, I'll list them off and then we'll talk about which ones we think are the most exciting to try. Because I did try them all. Spoiler alert. And remember the word COVID because we're going to use that quite a bit. Um, Maple bacon, and the description for the maple bacon flavor is a fluffy buttermilk cookie swirled with thick maple frosting, a sprinkle of real crispy bacon bits, and this is for the people at home who love pancakes, a drizzle of maple syrup. All right,
Man, it
moving.
sounds good. It sounds great, actually.
Sounds fantastic. Everything sounds good in theory, right? Everything on paper. Now, let's move forward. Pink donut. Now, this was supposed to be this was my most anticipated cookie to try because when I went to Portland, I had those Homer Simpson inspired pink donuts
Yep,
from
yep.
'88.
Or
Dude,
telling me about that. Yeah.
yeah, dude, twice. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10. What they did here, they gave us a soft vanilla cookie tossed with a pink glaze, a splash of rainbow sprinkles. I don't know how you splash that, and a hole just like the donut. So they put a hole in the middle of a cookie, and that's interesting. Now, the brownie batter cookie, we're moving on to the third out of the fourth new ones. A thick and delicious treat crafted with chocolate, brownie batter, and semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now, this looks really good in the picture, but all of them usually do, right? Now let's move forward to Ethan's most anticipated, the mint chip ice cream. Look at that. Look at that. You see that whipped cream? Look at
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
looks like a flower. It looks like a flower on those hotel beds. This is a sugar cookie with semi-sweet chips, They're really tiny too, so it kind of gives you that mint ice cream flavor for sure, like the idea. With a smooth mint chip mousse and an
Mm.
artful dollop of whipped cream, and it damn sure was artful. Now, Ethan, which flavor? And I already kind of know this, but you can tell them. What flavor are you most excited about?
I mean, for me, out of this week's options here, would definitely be the mint chip ice cream, but that's personal preference because, uh, I like. I don't know if I've said this before, but I like mint chocolate chip ice cream, and I mean, that's just me. I mean, it's always been a favorite, and to put that on a cookie, even better because I don't really like eating ice cream all that often. But to me, yeah, that's probably the best one out of the ones I see.
Yeah, I think there's like a subsection of people who like stan mint chocolate chip flavor. It doesn't matter what dessert it's on or what dessert it's coming from. There's a stan group of that, just like the butter pecan people of the world. And if you're Caribbean, the grape nut individuals. So it's been a long time running, but I'm here to disappoint all of you on that one. Ethan, I'm sorry. I got you on today because I knew you'd like that one, but I'm going to dunk on it in the best way possible, unfortunately. But before we get into that, we are doing this podcast every week. I'm going to have a guest on every week just to kind of spice things up. Just like how Crumble has a new flavor, I have new guests. So there are new flavors on my pod. Crumble has new flavors on their menu. This is my first guest, Ethan Farster. Again, his podcast is in the description just so you all can check out what amazing things they do on that podcast. He's a great individual, a good friend of mine, and I wouldn't have him on here if he wasn't a cookie connoisseur himself. We did a cookie debate of some sort, but more in a draft format. And we went at it in the most respectful way possible, obviously, but it was such a great draft. I got to learn so much more about you, Ethan, from just listening to you explain why you enjoy the cookies you enjoy and your different preferences of where you like to go. Like our draft was very out of the box because we just talked about so many different things, and I feel like we got closer as people.
Yeah, yeah. You caught me off guard with the way you wanted to go about it, like specifics from like different places where we might have encountered these different cookies, but definitely had to. You definitely poked at my brain a little bit with that, and I appreciate that. And that was something new that I hadn't even done before. So yeah.
Anytime. I think I want to do a part two. I want to see how well the first one does. Maybe I'll post it some random time of the week if I don't have much going on, or I just honestly don't feel like dropping another cookie episode a week. Because man, I tell you, I'm probably gonna gain a lot of weight doing this. Uh, the workout regimen has to be just as consistent as I'm dropping these episodes. So um, I'm not trying to be like what's that guy? Nikocado Avocado?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Done
gluttonous.
it. Yeah, he overdone it for sure.
It's a difference between happy weight and just gluttony. You know, like I'm not like a person who rags on anybody for what they look like or how much they weigh because that's not my business. That's your business. But wow, gluttony really took over. I don't know what's going on, and I hope he's mentally okay because that is ridiculous.
It looked to get to a point to where I'm not bashing him, but it looked to get to a point where it was just for views, and I mean it's a sad thing to see, but that's not where we're going with this. This is yours. Take off with it, man.
Yeah, this is my first podcast. If you haven't been able to catch on to that one, I usually am in the background while I watch Ethan and
Yeah,
his co-host George kind of like dominate the podcast sphere. You guys are really coming up on you guys' podcast. You want to tell us a little bit more about you all's pod and how often we should be looking to catch you all?
uh, yeah. We look to make a pod every week. We try to at least, depending on schedules, but we cover everything, sports. We covered the trade deadline here recently and moves we seen with Kevin Durant, Kyrie, all of that. And we try to get those out, around Monday every week. But it depends. News in sports are few and far between in what we cover because we're not all diverse in every sport specifically. But we try to, we just get on there, we chop it up, and our views, our thoughts get put out there for the world to hear. And yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a good time. We always have some guys on just chopping up about sports and having a lot of laughs. I'll leave that one in the description as well because I think that's a really good episode. Probably one of the best ones I've listened to in a while. These are all pretty good to me, but that one had a difference to it. I don't know. It felt like the energy just like shifted in a direction that we've been looking
Yeah.
for quite some time.
Yeah, but like having you there also, I know you don't always say a whole lot, but like having you there, you always seem to like when you feel that you need to, you put in your 2 cents too. I mean, it's all just conversation. That's all we're doing. And we're just chopping it up, and it's always good to have friends and all that on there, because I mean that's basically how we know each other. Sports games, all of that, and it's a good way to keep up with each other and all of that. But yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. That like it's very interesting how simple it is for guys to become friends in most cases. All we gotta do is have one major thing in common, and you usually have a bunch of conversation through there. I appreciate you
yeah,
all for letting me voice my opinions as well. I'm just, trying to make sure everything runs as smooth as possible. But I never really anticipate me to kind of be in the realm. But I mean, it's very much appreciated for sure. And again, thank you for coming on to this pilot episode to chop things up with me about desserts. We may not always talk about crumble, by the way. I know I'm the crumble guy, but there has to be some line in between. I love to travel, so I'll find some different cookies here and there and give you all a bit of my take. Maybe if I get a little more comfortable on camera, I'll maybe do a vlog of some sort where I go and try different cookies and give you all live cookie reviews at that point. But speaking of cookie reviews, I want to do a game with you, Ethan. So
okay.
let's imagine that there's a dart board and you get to throw a dart at any of these four flavors, and you can ask me which ones to review, and I'll go ahead and review it and tell you my opinions. So which one do you want me to do first? I got the maple bacon, pink donut, brownie batter, and mint chip ice cream. I tried all of them, unfortunately.
So I'm gonna hit you with a question here. Do you want me to give you like my thoughts and what they should be like or would be like, or and then you review it for me,
Yeah,
or you just want to like do what you just said?
I think yours is actually better because you can give your take, and then I can either be good cop or bad cop on that one. But yeah. We can go through whichever order you want to go through, and
I'll, prob-
I can tell you my opinion from there.
I'll probably just go straight down the line.
Okay.
So
Maple bacon, maple bacon. So what were your initial thoughts? We'll go over
I haven't
reactions.
tried yet. I haven't got to try them yet. I just now seated because I don't really venture out to eat desserts all that much. I've said that before. You know that.
Yeah.
But this one, I mean, we kind of talked this on the first one we did where I came on, and maple bacon came up in the donuts that you showed me.
Yeah.
And that's one of them things. It's like maple and bacon. Man, that sounds great because it's a good like breakfast like
Yeah, like, absolutely.
taste like flavor. But I don't know how you've tasted it and I haven't. But like to me, it would be one of those things you'd have to have an acquired taste for.
Hmm.
Because I don't know, not a lot of people, like bacon and that whole maple bacon flavor. But to me, I think it'd be pretty good. But again, I haven't got to try it yet. And sometimes they do have misses. I mean, my expectations aren't really that high in terms of like hit or miss because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I felt pretty excited about that one when I seen it, but I hear you got some other words to say about it.
No. I think this one was probably one of the best ones, actually. Um, Very consistent. I took some notes on it because I just had to kind of like voice my opinions. So my first impression was that when it came out of the box, it looked pretty bad. Not aesthetically pleasing at all. The frosting was it's a brown, but it's not an aesthetically pleasing brown. It's like the brown that you're just like, not this brown, maybe another brown will look better with that. But looks can be deceiving because it definitely was a really good cookie. Tasted a lot better than it looked. It wasn't too heavy on the maple, and the bacon was just nice and crispy. The bacon would have been fine by itself. Um, the cookie was a good texture as well. It wasn't anything too like crunchy on the outside, but not soft enough on the inside. It was a great consistency. It tasted like a Sunday morning breakfast of crispy pancakes with butter, your maple syrup on top, and your bacon on the side. It was a splendid cookie. My wife's a big fan of those type of flavors as well. I think you already know that, but just for the people listening at home, my wife Tiana is a huge fan of maple bacon flavored items, and we both gave them ratings. I thought she'd go a little bit higher, but hers was 8 out of 10, and mine was a great solid 7 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're interested in that type of texture, that just it's a very consistent texture, and like I said, the flavors are very good even by themselves. The frosting was phenomenal. So that is my opinion about the maple bacon cookie. 7 out of 10. Now,
That's not bad. I didn't know if you was gonna bash it or not, because I never know with you, man.
I'm full of surprises, and my tone really doesn't dictate how I feel either. So there's that. Um, so what cookie do you cookie do you want to discuss next? Or you want me to pick the next one?
You go ahead and pick it, and I'll tell you about it.
Cool. I'll pick my most disappointed one. And I kind of spoiled it already. Let's talk about the pink donut one a little bit. Now, my initial reaction was, this is the best looking cookie they ever put out, excluding a couple of our favorites like the New York cheesecake and the blueberry muffin. But this was a pretty looking cookie. Ethan, what are your thoughts?
Are we talking about the pink donut one?
Yeah.
Is it like a shortbread cookie? Is that what like the base is, or is it like a sugar cookie, or is it just a plain vanilla cookie?
It's supposed to be a plain vanilla cookie. It's supposed to be a soft vanilla cookie, according to the experts over at Crumble themselves.
Yeah, well, most of the cookies, I feel like they are on that soft side, which I mean I personally enjoy because I don't like I don't like rock hard cookies because that just makes it. I ain't trying to break my teeth. That's what I'm trying to say here.
That's true.
Simpsons inspired, sort of, kind of. You see with the pink icing, the sprinkles. Now, to me, I think they messed up with the hole in the middle. I think that's like the best part of the cookie. If you leave that center in there, and it's like the perfect soft, not too hard. I feel like it adds a lot to the cookie. Now this, they took that out, and I feel like it probably messed up the cookie, in my opinion. But that's just me.
You can hear this laugh a lot. Oh man.
The sprinkles is just there, man. I'm not a fan of sprinkles. They don't do nothing. They're just there for looks.
Yeah.
And the way they look on here is just like, meh. And then the icing probably has no flavor to it besides the plain icing flavor, just pink. That one will probably, like, I don't know, underwhelm me kind of when I looked at it because it just looked mid. But
ooh,
you might have something to say about it.
Ooh, you hit a couple points that I'm going to agree with for the most part. So when I ate this cookie, imagine going to Walmart. We're both at Walmart, right? You walk in, and the sugar cookies in the front of the store in those clear containers next to all the sweets that are as soon as you walk in on a shelf, you walk straight. There's
Those
those
Walmart
Walmart
sugar
sugar
cookies.
cookies, right?
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
wanted to go to Walmart for a sugar cookie, I would just got Walmart sugar cookies. This
Oh,
cookie was awful. No cap, awful, awful. By far the most anticipated for me to try, but the cookie lacked flavor. Like it just gave. Let's go to Walmart and grab some quick sugar cookies for a kid's birthday party because we didn't bring anything. Um, the dough was inconsistent. Some of it was dry, some of it was wet, and it was all one cookie. I didn't split two different cookies and saw how wet one was inside and the other was dry. Stop undercooking these cookies, man. Y'all really putting these cookies in there on 250 and just letting them cook. Like that's not how you do it, bro. If I do I have to come in there and with my own like materials and show y'all how to do it? Like
now I will ask you: do you think that's just like this one specific cookie, or do you think it's like the whole batch kind of thing? Like, do you think you just got like a bad one out of the whole batch, or what do you think?
I don't know. Like I hope it's just one out of the batch. I hope everyone who's listening, I hope y'all have a better experience than I do because this is just my experience. I can't dunk on every single cookie from every experience, but I can dunk on mine. So this one, I'm telling you, we cut it in fourths. She had a wet piece, I had a dry piece. And we was like, okay, we'll both try them. The dry piece tasted better, clearly, right? Like it was literally like it looked like runny dough on the inside. Like there was
You
some
know,
sort of like filling or something like that.
you would kind of think that would be the opposite. You kind of think the softer, moist part of the cookie would be better, just because it's soft. You kind of get like the feel of the dough. That's just my opinion for me, but that's
Like
just what I would think. But
no crumble in sight because it wasn't cooked. Listen,
that's tough.
and I keep saying cooked like they're not baked. Anyway, it
I mean,
was
if I wanted to eat raw edible cookie dough, man, I go to the store. But
exactly. I would just do that. And you know what store we go to?
Walmart.
Thank you. Dude, 4 out of 10. And Tiana was even meaner than I was. She gave it a 2 out of 10.
Ooh,
The icing was mid.
oh.
The icing was mid, and I would give it to you. Not having the center of a cookie really does make a difference because then all you got to work with is the outside and you can't mess it up. That's probably why they messed it up because they had to cut a center piece out and they already messed it up they already baked it too low and then they cut it out in the middle and then they start adding this stuff. Terrible.
I mean, I feel like I said, I feel like like taking out the inside, the center part of it. I feel like that like takes away the texture of how the cookie's supposed to be, and you take that out, and it bakes unevenly, and I think that's where you got the uneven baking,
Yeah.
dry and soft and all that. But
I'm like, I gotta check out their baking process. Do they drill the hole after the cookie's already made? Because if so, why is it still undercooked? Why is it still underbaked? Like
yeah,
Gordon
yeah,
Ramsay would dunk on those right now. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I kind of think that if they would have like baked it through and then like cut the hole out, I think it could have been better. But if, like you said, if they cut this out before that and they still fucked it up, like I don't know, man. That's terrible. But yeah, to me it just looks like a mid cookie. But
Disappointing.com. If there was a website for just disappointment, it's that. I just felt so bad because I was like, I really want to like this. I tried it 3 times. It just wasn't for me. I'm just gonna pass them around at work tomorrow and see if I can get some honest opinions. Because maybe I'm wrong. But to me, mid, capital
I
M.
could do more. But
Like bake it more, and then let's try it again. So, ugh, dude, okay. Let's
I'm
move
sorry.
on. I'm getting
Sorry,
sad.
I had to do that. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. You're gonna go through it with me the next time, because the next time you're on, which is gonna be next week, by the way, I just spoiled it. Ethan is gonna be on next week as well. I'm gonna have the whole cast of Bro Sports Talk on next week, so y'all just be prepared for that. But yeah,
Look,
mid.
man.
So, do you wanna get on your favorite now, or do you wanna save that one for last?
No, I mean we can go ahead. We can go ahead with the mint chip ice cream. We can go ahead.
Oh,
'Cause I'm gonna save my least favorite for last. Just
yes.
uh, to me, for one thing that I see that I'm going to point out that I see on this website here that they did wrong with this. I don't think there's enough chocolate chips in this icing.
I agree.
Because like, I mean, I'm fine with the amount, but it's just the size and the proportion of chocolate you get. Because listen, you can mess up mint chocolate anything, and like you have to have the fine ratio of mint to chocolate, and if you don't, it just throws it off, and then you're just eating toothpaste. Which I mean, I kind of see where y'all bash me for my mint chocolate chip ice cream takes, because I mean, it is a very easy thing to mess up, and it's
Yeah.
not for everybody. And that's kind of what I see in this cookie. For one thing, I've never had mint mousse. I've never had that. Uh, Not enough whipped cream topping on the top. Like, who looks at that as like, yeah, let me just put this little amount of whipped cream on top. No, that's gonna do it for me.
That's
But
fair.
again, the taste would be one of my preferences, and it would be one that I would get. But yeah, that's just what I by looking at it, that's what I think about it. So how'd your experience with it go? I mean,
Uh,
oh, here we go. Here it sounds like a myth.
I, I just want to preface this by saying I may have enjoyed it a little bit better if the mousse had actual flavor. But honestly, I was going to ask you if you had any extra COVID tests because I thought I lost my taste buds because this had no flavor at all. And mind
Man,
you, I'm not a big mint fan, right? It
yeah,
smelled, it smelled fantastic. And it was a beautiful cookie. I want to say positive things before I absolutely destroy this cookie. Positive reviews are that it looks beautiful. It smells just like some mint ice cream. Smells exactly like it. You're not going to miss out on that aspect of it. It does give you that feeling. Before you bite into it, you think it's going to taste exactly like it, but then you bite into it, it tastes like nothing. Did you bite into it? I don't know because it doesn't taste like anything. The mint mousse was a failure because that was the majority of the cookie. Didn't taste like a dang thing. I tell you what,
so
they should have just like put a spoon, smacked it against the whipped cream, and just started spreading it. Because otherwise, the whipped cream's not there either. And you already know whipped cream is already a faint taste enough.
yeah, yeah.
God,
I
God.
was, I'm going to reiterate and kind of go back on a point here. I mean, whipped cream, that didn't really go with mint
I don't
chocolate.
know why they added that. That's a
Y-
good point. That's a really good point. I didn't even write that down in my notes. Why whipped cream? That's a really good question.
now I'm gonna get back to this. Now, was it like a? Did this just not have like the mint kick to it, or was it just a whole pile of mint on top? Or
If you're gonna do, I just feel like if you're gonna do mint, it can't be too faint.
I
It
mean,
can't be a faint taste at all. Like it has to be either mint or you're not. There's no in between.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what you're saying is it lacked that mint flavor? Is that what you're
It
saying?
did. It did. It lacked
Oh,
flavor in all aspects. Even the cookie didn't have a flavor to it, and that was disappointing because the sugar cookie at least supposed to have something. I couldn't even taste the chocolate chips. It's like they cut up into. It's like they cut the chocolate chips into tiny fourths and just kind of sprinkled them on there, some sort of like
yeah,
dash of
yeah.
something instead of utilizing the chips. I think they should have utilized the chips a little bit more. I think they should have had it. I think they should have used something outside of a mint mousse because that mousse usually means a light flavor of something. And if you're like I said, if you're gonna go mint, you gotta go mint. You can't
You
do
know,
mid.
to me, to one thing I think they could do to make this cookie better, and I don't know if you have these type of views on anything. I don't know if you put this in your reviews or not, but like they probably could have done like a chocolate base cookie.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe not too heavy, not like a super heavy chocolate base, but like throw it in there to like add some to the chocolate chips, not to add for the lack of chocolate taste, you know. And then for the mousse, I don't know, you got to spice that up with some more mint, something. You got to do something because from what I'm hearing, man, it's just a bland cookie.
yeah. It should have been a chocolate based cookie, in my opinion, with a mint mousse on top and with your semi sweet to add to it. Because at least if you would have, that chocolate probably would have complemented that mint mousse a little bit better than the sugar cookie did. But they've been
Yeah,
overusing sugar cookies for three of these flavors now.
I've been saying, you know me, you know I don't like chocolate based. I don't like chocolate cookies. I don't
Yes.
like chocolate, and that's coming from me, and that's. That's something simple that they could have looked at and been like, yeah, that would have really took this cookie over the top. Outside of maybe making the mint more minty, a little
Yeah.
more pasty, but yeah. Uh,
Or mint chocolate chips in the chocolate cookie. If you had mint flavored chips and then the like a softer, maybe an icing instead of a mousse.
yeah, yeah, and just go ahead and leave the whipped cream off the top. That
Yeah. Like if
to me,
you're, come
to
on
me,
now.
it just doesn't go together. Come on, Crumble. Got the Crumble guy here. He's disappointed, man. He's disappointed.
Literally $18 down the drain for the most part. Now, there was a saving grace cookie, and I'm glad you waited until the last one to talk about this one. So I'm going to start with this one. I let you, the mint chip ice cream specialist, I'd like to call you, dissect that one because I knew you were going to have a better take than me.
Well,
This
what's
this
your
would
rating? What you giving it on a scale?
you're right. So unfortunately, I gave it a 1 out of 10.
That's
By
fair. That's fair.
the way, the cookie was doughy, like mad doughy. Again, bake the cookie. It's there's like 15 ovens in Crumble, and none of them wanted to bake the cookie. I don't understand. It was 4:45 when I went there to grab them. Eastern Standard Time, 4:45. Just got out of work. I'm in traffic. Just got off the bridge. Went to grab my cookies, picked them up, came home, ate them. Disappointment. I was in traffic for about 45 minutes for this.
Hey man, they put them on live broil and then they forgot to press the bake button. But
I'm saying they preheated the oven and kept it on broil instead. Tiana gave it a 0 out of 10. Tiana's always going to try cookies with me, and Tiana's going to give it the most honest rating she could, and she gave it a 0 out of 10.
Man,
Yikes.
that's tough.
It was not Tiana approved.
I didn't think she'd go worse than the. Which one she gave it to? Was it the maple bacon she gave it to?
No. She loved the maple bacon. She gave it an 8. She gave the pink donut. Yeah, pink donut.
I was say if she gave that one a 2. I mean, she gave this a 0. Man.
Yeah. I think she would have went in the negatives if I wouldn't have said anything. But this cookie that I'm about to describe is the saving grace of all cookies this week. If you're a big brownie fan, you're going to love this one, especially if you're edge of the pan type of brownie fan. Oof. Ethan, I'm going to tell you, and I'll put it like this. Imagine just a normal brownie, right? No extra inside of it, just the nice texture on the outside, the crust, crunch on the outside, the nice soft, gooey inside.
Yeah.
But let's add chocolate chips to that.
Ooh.
Now, anybody can mess up a brownie batter cookie. Anybody.
Oh, sure.
The textures are they have 2 different type of textures, sometimes overlapping one another. So it's very easy to mess those up. And Crumble did not disappoint with this one. It had like I said, it had the corner of the pan, warm texture on the outside, with a nice soft complementary texture on the inside. The semi-sweet chocolate chips help with the lack of flavor within the brownie cookie itself. It was a great cookie. If they would have added dark chocolate chips, it would have been ruined. I promise you, if they would have added them on the outside, it would have been ruined. But it was the inside of the cookie, and I think that was the separator for me. Top tier cookie. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Tiana liked it, but not as much as I did. She gave it a cool 7. Ethan, what are your thoughts on the brownie batter cookie?
For people who know me, don't know me, they'll come to the conclusion that they know that I don't really like chocolate-based anything. And I said that with the mint chip ice cream, talking about the base, but I don't know. This one looks like I can always go for a good brownie every once in a while. And this cookie on the website looks fantastic. Looks pretty soft. The melted chocolate chips in it just seem to set it apart from the rest. Obviously, we've had a whole bunch of mid here so far, what we've been talking about. But yeah, can't go wrong with a nice brownie batter cookie. Now, I think they could have thrown something on top, like a little like powdered sugar type stuff. not too much, not like a CC's dollop of powdered sugar, if you know what I'm saying. But you could definitely spice it up a little bit, in my opinion. But not too bad. I wouldn't say anything other than you did, and I haven't even tried it yet. So
Shout out to CC's Pizza, man. Those brownies were, whew. Man, if you
man,
know, you know.
hey man, if you got to the middle, man, whew. But hey, nothing's wrong with the edges either. But
They were gooey. Like,
yeah,
I
some
think,
some people in there they would kill it with powdered
oh,
sugar.
yeah.
It'd ruin the whole brownie. But
I couldn't even see the top of the brownie anymore. It was just covered in powdered sugar. I think, you're a really great person to have on here and discuss cookies with, because man, you give me such great insight. I didn't think about putting powdered sugar on top of it, and that would
you
make a
know,
big difference. That's a really good
it's
idea.
supposed to be like a brownie batter, which I understand that. So it's just the batters before you get the brownie type processed cookie. But like, I don't know. I feel like you have to do something to like, set it apart from the rest. I don't know if they've done it before. You might. I don't. But like, I just think that like a little bit, not like I said, not Cece's amount of powdered sugar, just something little, just to boost the flavor a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. That give it the flavor boosters are probably going to be your specialty on this pod, isn't it?
I mean,
It's like
maybe.
if we can give Crumble honest opinion sort of Google Doc, flavor boosters will probably be at the top of the list in my opinion.
Nah, like I'm not saying go out and completely change the whole setup. I don't like you got some good stuff going for you. But like when we get down to these like mid cookies, I might need you to step it up a little bit. And I'm just here to offer a little bit of my opinion. But it man, you know more than anybody that a little bit of flavor boosting would go a long way in some of these cookies you be talking about.
I think so. But if they don't make them mid, I don't have too much negative things to say. And unfortunately, we live in a world where negativity is very popular. So
Exactly. Exactly.
I,
And ain't
ugh,
nothing but a little bit of constructive criticism.
yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just a little constructive way to help y'all grow, help this channel grow. This podcast is gonna be going on for quite some time, so y'all keep bringing them cookies, man. We're gonna keep reviewing them. Ethan, thanks again for coming on with me today. This is the pilot episode. Just imagine this episode 10 years later after you've seen all the rest of them. Make sure to look out for the Crumble Guy Pod on Instagram. I will leave links in the description as always for those people who just want to click on something instead of listening to me talk about it. The episode you'll probably see it on your commute home. Today is Monday. It is now 9:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 27. Ethan, thanks again for coming on. Until next time, we will see you all later.